Hello there and welcome to this channel. My name is AJ and I'm new here. So as basically all of WinxTube knows, the transformation sequences for the Winx Club reboot have been dropping. I've seen a bunch of other and far more experienced YouTubers talk about them, but I also want to give my thoughts. And since I don't want to copy them, I have actively restrained myself from watching them before this is finished. And believe me, it takes a lot of willpower for me to not watch a Unicorn of War video. A little bit of talking about the song is also in order, but before I get to the final sequences, I want to talk about the different changes that the designs have undergone from the prototypes to the final looks. The first prototype version we got was only of the main three, Bloom, Stella and Flora, and it looked a lot like a new Charmix, with basic outfits and little accessories. So let's see, the colors are very similar to the original, which I like. They all have a little crown, originally taken from Bloom I guess, and hers is still as gold as in the original, but looking kinda spiky and not so pretty. The arm warmers are also present across the board, but Bloom's look like OG Stella's with their short length and color. And the boots are also like in the original, only their heights were swapped as well. Bloom and Flora used to end way lower, while Stella wore over knees, and now they've flipped that around as well. Well, what do we think about the fact that the outfits were entirely swapped between Stella and Bloom? Because in the original, Stella was the one with the short pants and Bloom had a skirt. Also, Stella used to be the one with the asymmetrical one-shoulder top and Bloom wore the high neck. But I have to say, the cut of Bloom's new top with the way it wraps around her neck looks very cool. Meanwhile, Flora still has a dress, but losing the corset also means losing the dark pink accent color and turns it into a very basic summer dress anyone could buy at H&M. And I don't like straps. As for the wings, Bloom and Stella look very similar in this, with their color and even the lines. Flora stands out, not only are hers green like in the original, but their design is more rounded and butterfly-like. Bloom's hair looks the same, maybe a bit wilder, while Stella wears her hair open with some little braids. In the original, she was the only one who didn't have her hair down. Remember those two low ponytails? And Flora looks really pretty with that section pulled back and her usual blonde front pieces braided. Now, we should also talk about the Charmix accessories. In Season 2, it consisted of a bag and a brooch, both individualized. Brooches are nowhere to be seen here. The closest we get is a little jewel in a different color from the top. Stella's is blue, fitting her moon side and giving contrast, the way her original arm warmers did. Bloom's is red like fire and similar to her hair. Flora's looks orange or gold and was hard to interpret as in line with the other girls. I had thought it was just a weird part of the dress. As for the bags, Stella's is a heart, which is hilarious and fits since she's been switching everything else with her bestie Bloom already. Bloom's is a cuboid bag and Flora's a circle, meaning their Charmixes lose all their individuality. In Season 2, when Stella got hers and her brooch was a mirror, she exclaimed how well her Charmix knew her. Well, none of that here. And now let's move on to the second prototype, the one that already had their almost final art style. It's a lot more detailed outfit-wise, but the wings that we can see all have the same shape. Sirenix says hello. Going from left to right, the first thought is that Stella is in her Cosmix form. Like the orange top with the pink straps in the exact same style. Tell me you don't see it, I dare you. The way her boots are the original height again and merged from pink in the top to gold in the bottom, only to have pink underneath, is very cool though. She also has these little flying things on the right sides of her ankles. Could it be wings like Hermes? However, her hair is still open. One thing about Stella, she used to be the one with the open hair in civilian form and two ponytails in fairy form, and now she's the exact opposite, since they took her ponytails and slapped them onto her civilian form. Her wings? I couldn't really tell from this picture, but knowing the final look in hindsight, I can see it was already there, with the sun base and the rays going out. Flora looks gorgeous in the dress that is completely bedazzled with flowers, and her braid is so beautiful. The wings are the same generic shape as the others, and hers don't even have anything to personalize or symbolize her powers. Honorable mention to the light green hairband though. The first thing we see about Bloom is that hairstyle. The high ponytail hadn't looked pretty in Sirenix either, but the braids with the colored beads, They're so not Bloom, but so pretty. The blue goo wrapped around her arms also looks a lot like Sirenix, and oh my god, now that I'm looking at this look completely from the Sirenix angle, the bodice and little skirt and leggings design are all from that. So Stella is in Cosmix and Bloom is in Sirenix. Interesting. Musa has her two pigtails back, but they're low instead of high. They do look very intricate though. Her red one piece has this cutout on the side that's not bare skin but a more transparent layer, which is what she had symmetrically in her original base form. But the purple things above it, I have no words to describe, no idea what they are. The boots are also purple. It really seems that they wanted to make the outfits too colored in the same way that they introduced pink into Stella's palette. Also those fishnets on her arms. Aisha stands tall and powerful with her beautiful braids and an interesting gold band on her arm. Her turquoise dress seems to have a mosaic section around the middle and shorts as well as a skirt. It looks like she's wearing off-white high stockings though, pretty weird. Antekna finally got to show her android look with the cybernetic implants and side cut. The electric circuit board pattern on her wings is amazing. She's still in a full-length bodysuit, but the helmet had to give way for the hair and implant. Also, it doesn't cover her shoulders and arms anymore. That's done by some long, detached sleeves that are the same shade of darker blue that her suit blends into towards the bottom. However, the blue doesn't fit with her color palette and looks weird, especially in combination with the two electric green stripes on the sleeves. Then, she also has a transparent spacey skirt over the suit that does not need to be there at all. The final looks still have the essence of version 2, but brought a bunch of changes, some of which I am very glad about. Tekna's hairstyle, implant and wings remained. I really like the fact that the designers realized the parts that were amazing and kept those. The outfit is definitely a change. It thankfully lost the skirt, but turning it into a top and pants ends up showing a lot more midriff, which is not Tekna at all. The top is a very small bustier, but features two cross straps. The stripes from the sleeves remain and are recolored to become purple armbands. They did a good job purging the mess of colors. I also like the fact that the boots look very robotic, but the fabric of her pants looks very rubbery. I'm really sad that Flora's dress lost the flower overpower. It's still pretty with its two-tone pink and layers in the bottom, but still too basic. But her hair has pretty flowers. The boots are pretty sharp, which doesn't fit her gentle nature, but I like the flowers around the ankles. The green necklace with the several bands beneath it looks pretty, but on the arms where those exact same green bands hold more flowers, they look wrong. Stella's Cosmix copy was thankfully fixed in the final version. She now sports a gold top with a bunch of halters spreading from it like rays of sunlight. Not sure what the orange diamond patches are doing on her shoulders though. The yellow skirt is nice, and the boots blend from a softer rose into white, which doesn't fit the color scheme, but the stars on the top of them are pretty. And her wings are awesome, but we already knew that. Bloom's hairstyle hasn't really changed, but her outfit did a lot. She's got this short top with one shoulder pad, and while her outfit is still mostly blue, they added some pink. The skirt shape is weird. I just have no other words. What is this? The boots again blend two colors from pink in the top to blue in the bottom. You know, because besties. Her wings got really detailed and special with blues and pinks and some golden veins as accents. It's a lot like Mythics, I have to say. I'm a little mad that the other girls got super similar wing shapes and only Mary Sue got the special treatment again. Aisha, however, wasn't gonna let that slide. She snatched herself some wild pointed wings as well, also featuring the golden lines. Her outfit I'm not so sure about. The thing on her arm looks like Flora's with the straight lines that just don't work. The top looks fine with the transparent halters that give it a swimsuit look. But I guess the shorts were too basic, so they added some fabric layers to the side, turning it from boring into freaking weird. The boots are, well, lace up is just not my style. But the hair, oh my god, it's so pretty. Musa's pigtails do not look pretty. They are far too thin and look just like lines coming out from her head. The dress actually looks very similar to her original design, which I like, but it connected top and bottom parts more. It actually wraps around her like the music staff in her Enchanted sequence. It's still asymmetrical, but the bare shoulder is decorated with some glittery design that is mirrored on her other arm. What I don't like is that they had to give all the skirts slits that require shorts underneath. The boots look okay, I guess, but the best part of the entire reboot are Musa's wings. The way they look like piano keys but also have quarter notes sticking out of them to rebel against the regular shape. Divine. So now that we have analyzed the looks, let's see how the wings transform into them. I'm going to go through all the transformation sequences in the chronological order that we got them, which means first we got Flora, which, yay, my favorite. So the sequence starts really cute with her being in a flower, but the waking up part, imagine you are going into battle, aka you are already very awake, and then you start your transformation by getting up in the morning? Weird choice, but still cute. The way she's engulfed in a breeze is gorgeous, and it gives me another aspect of her powers, because come on, wind is a part of nature. Then we begin getting her outfit by flying around vines and doing a Tarzan. It fits, given that vines are the aspect of her magic that Flora uses most. However, the sequence is far too sporty. Like, did someone confuse Flora and Aisha? Oh my god, that little close-up shot of her is so pretty. And of course I have to rank the sequences, and since this is the first one, it's just here in the middle. Then we got Tecna, who starts out not in a flower, but a sphere. Cool. Then she interacts with computers, fitting her, and it kind of seems like she's picking her outfit, because otherwise it would be like a slice of life type scene that does not fit into a transformation at all. Imagine Tecna goes like, yeah, I know I gotta transform, there's a threat out there, but let me check my emails first. Her close-up shot is when she flies to the camera to write it. The second time she channels Stella. What is this? You know, when we first got Tecna's transformation, I immediately preferred it over Flora for being more in character, but now looking at it again in detail, oh no. Oh my god, she got cybernetic implants, I love it. And the eye shot, I remember that from somewhere. Was it a trailer opening or something? Which would mean that she channels Bloom here, whose eye is in the beginning of the original opening. On the one hand, confusing the girls again. On the other hand, giving Tecna fame. I'm going for version 2. Next up, she spins, and it actually looks like she's in water. Aisha says hello again, I guess. Tecna getting her wings looks powerful, and the smirk she gives at no one in particular, girl is charged. I still have to say I prefer Tecna's sequence over Flora's. And now for Musa. I love that they started with my favorite trio. She starts out in a bubble, probably recycling some imagery from Tecna. Inside, she's listening to music, then she realizes, oh no, I gotta transform now. It's giving comedy, reality show opening, and like with Flora, doesn't fit. She then flies out of the bubble and grabs some music staffs to interact with, like playing guitar. I believe the animators were lazy and reused Flora's vines. But for Musa it fits and is in character, so I think we should take them from Flora and let Musa keep them. The staffs then wrap around Musa like in her Enchantix to give her her outfit, and the way she lands after that is so reminiscent of her original transformations, like the intro to Magic Wings with the bass sound and the checkerboard of Believix. I love it. Not sure why she has 2 clones for her little rockstar scene though. She could rock the floor on her own, and this is giving way too much Darcy. Oh my god, did Musa just moonwalk? I'm obsessed. And this is the first time I see the classic hand pose again. Musa just keeps delivering. I absolutely love it. Top of the list as of now. Side note, why is Musa the only one with a full screen sequence while the others have black bars in the top and bottom? It really messes with my aesthetic. Next up was Stella, and I gotta say, oof. While the others interacted with their source of power and environment during their transformations, Stella looks like she's just there. The magical things in there she all does with some light emanating from her hands. It looks detached somehow. But the fact that the majority of the transformation is with a blue background in the moon setting is not only thematically awesome, it also gives a visual contrast to the golden and orange Stella. And the moment where Stella moves the sky to change from moon to sun, amazing. Stella, fairy of the sun and moon, we are so back. And then she spins in front of the sun like Bloom did in that fire circle in 3D Sirenix. One thing I have to mention though, the squeals were already not great in the other transformations, but with Stella it's so cringe in intensity and quantity. Just delete them from all the girls, please. this lackluster sequence is of course going into the bottom. And now for my girl Aisha. All the other sequences I had seen before and rewatched in detail for this video. But for Aisha, I wanted to live react. Oh my god, the bubble looks just like a Musa sequence. But since it fits for Aisha, I guess Musa should pick something else. And Aisha just bursts out of there, energetic, one with the water, amazing. The aerial hair toss, I'm obsessed. And doing it in slow motion and in sync with the music on the lyric Fly, our girl is just the best. Next up, we see a bunch of bubbles being part of her power, all showing Aisha surfing. It would have made more sense if they were reflections of her, but we zoom into one and the image is not mirrored, so there's that. But she's surfing directly on the wave, our girl just doesn't need no equipment, and then she flies through it, truly the master of water. Oh hey, another bubble. That results in her getting her wings and a cute little pose. And then her final pose so strong and powerful. Well, this is easily the best new sequence we got. Which may be in part due to Aisha channeling Aisha not being out of character. And finally, Bloom. Opening with a shot of space and universe. A throwback to Cosmics. And the colors may be pretty, but it implies that our Mary Sue's got even more OP powers in the reboot, like Master of the Universe. Then spawns a Heart of Fire, tribute to that one Charmix song in the Nick specials. We get Bloom, and she sprouts fire from her hands to propel her upwards, the same pose I know from a bunch of superheroes like Firestorm in the Arrowverse, and a bunch of others that don't use fire, but their power source like Quake and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. All the while she gets her outfit and forms yet another Heart of Fire. The flames then morph into butterflies. Flora's got a tribute, I guess. Side note, they captured her awe beautifully here. The fiery breeze around Bloom when she gets her wings is pretty, but before she opens her eyes, her face looks like she's about to sneeze. And when she looks at the camera, her face looks really uncanny, like what is this? Maybe she's crossing her eyes or something? Well, worse than Stella is impossible, but I think this also tops Flora. The background is just too pretty. The third aspect that I want to talk about is the song. And while we were getting the sequences, I had really hoped that the background music was just a placeholder, because that's how it feels, lackluster. And if we really have to have it on the soundtrack, it feels more like an intro or outro kind of song. An intro like that would be too forgettable, so outro, I guess. And after thinking about it for a couple days, I realized why that may be. Usually the intros and the outros are like, yeah, we are the Winx and we're so great and everything. Well, it's the transformation song's job to introduce us to the transformation, including its name. But this song not featuring a transformation name and channeling the original We Girls Are the Winx by literally singing We Are the Winx confirms that this is the base transformation. I had really hoped that it would not be, because those designs are far too detailed to be a basic transformation, which leaves no potential for any further transformations. I would have made this transformation more like a new Believe-X. I don't really have anything else to say lyric-wise, it's just the same as always. But what does intrigue me is the key and the fact that it sounds very Sirenix-like. Also, we have to talk about the singer Virginia Bocelli, because she is 13 years old and her vocals sound so mature. I'm really impressed. Now, if we pull up the tier list I made for my transformation song ranking video, it will probably go into the meh category alongside Cosmic somewhere. Alright, those were my points and thoughts and analyses on the new Winx Club transformation. And again, share your thoughts in the comment section, I'd love to hear from you. And I know this is the second Winx Club video in a row, but I have always intended to make this a multi-fandom channel. So let's see if I can drag myself away from this one.